So, um, I guess a few parts to this question. So, firstly, how would you define autofiction, and how do you see the role of autofiction in general, as opposed to, I mean, to me, intuitively, it seems to be between autobiography and fiction. Why not one of those two things? And also, more specifically, why is this book written in that way?
Sure. Autofiction to me is a story that derives from the truth or things that truly happened. And it's the writer who stylizes it in a way that they deem fit. I think it's different from an autobiography in that there's more of a prediction of how the form will be. When we talk about an autobiography, I think people expect things to be more factual, at least in form.
Mm,
So I think it's mainly a question of form. Um, for me, it's important to create autofiction as an exercise of self-compassion for the writer. But I think as a society, if we come to expect more autofiction and read more autofiction, I think we can form more open-mindedness about the stories that we allow, and thus the lives that we allow to exist. I personally would love to see a world where empathy was pervasive. Anybody can have lived their life in any way, and we would sit and listen and acknowledge the validity, the depth, the breadth, all of what they've gone through. And ideally, would have a world where there was no right or wrong of behavior as much as the question of what made you decide to do that,
mm,
or you know how can we feel about that in ways that are actually more positive than negative.
mm.
And I do believe that that is actually possible to have the most quote unquote egregious behaviors, and yet the response to that is more positive than negative.
Mm.